Stop trying to go viral. I know that sounds counterintuitive. I know you've watched someone post a 30-second video and wake up to 2 million views and a brand deal, and suddenly everyone's talking about them. I know it feels like that's the goal. Like virality is the answer to every problem you have. The slow growth, the empty comment section, the sponsored post you keep applying for and never hearing back about. I know it feels like the one thing standing between you and the life you actually want is just one video that hits different. But I need you to really hear this. The obsession with going viral is the exact reason most creators never build anything real. And the data backs this up in ways that should genuinely shake you. Let me give you a number. The average viral video, we're talking 5 million views or more, converts to new subscribers at a rate of roughly 2 to 4%. That means if your video hits 5 million views tomorrow, you might gain between 100,000 and 200,000 subscribers. Sounds incredible, right? Except here's what nobody tells you. The retention on those subscribers is brutal. Studies on viral-driven growth consistently show that creators who blow up overnight lose between 60 and 80% of those subscribers within 90 days. Those people found you because of a moment, not because of you. They followed a trend. They didn't follow a creator. And when the trend fades, they're gone. You're left with a ghost audience, a suppressed algorithm, and the psychological wreckage of watching your numbers crater in real time. Compare that to a creator who spent the same 6 months posting consistently to a small but genuinely engaged audience. Let's say they have 10,000 subscribers. Their videos average 30,000 views. Their comment sections are full of people actually responding to each other, and their click-through rates are sitting at 8 to 12%. Brands don't care about your viral moment. Brands care about your viral moment. They care about whether your audience trusts you enough to actually buy something. And that creator with 10,000 real subscribers, they can often negotiate higher rates per 1,000 views than someone with 500,000 ghost followers from a viral hit 3 years ago. That's not a metaphor. That's how influencer marketing actually works. Here's the thing I had to sit with for a long time. When I was starting, and I mean genuinely starting, 0 subscribers, posting into the void, getting 47 views on a video I spent 3 days making, I was obsessed with cracking the code. I would spend hours reverse engineering videos that had gone viral. I'd study the thumbnail. I'd study the hook. I'd try to replicate the pacing, the tone, the topic, the timing. I was convinced there was a formula. I was convinced that if I just figured out what made that one video explode, I could do it too. And you know what I got from 6 months of chasing that? Inconsistency, burnout, and content that didn't sound like me at all. Because I was making videos for an algorithm. I was making videos for a hypothetical audience that might one day discover me through some magical viral moment. I wasn't making videos for the people who were already there, clicking on my stuff every week, leaving comments, actually coming back. I was ignoring the real for the theoretical, and the algorithm noticed, by the way. It always does. So let's talk about what actually works, not in a vague, abstract, motivational way. Let's get specific. The creators who build durable audiences, and by durable I mean audiences that sustain a business, generate consistent revenue, and stick around through platform changes, algorithm shifts, and content pivots, share one thing in common. They made a decision, at some point, to stop trying to reach everybody and start trying to deeply serve somebody. They got specific, not because some strategy guru told them to niche down, but because they stopped asking what's going to go viral and started asking what does the person who already likes my stuff actually need from me. That shift sounds simple. It is not simple, because chasing virality is actually a way of avoiding the harder, more vulnerable question of who you actually are as a creator. When you're optimizing for the biggest possible audience, you don't have to commit to anything. You can stay vague. You can stay safe. You can make videos about trending topics you don't actually care about because, hey, if it blows up, it was worth it. But the moment you decide to serve a specific person, a real person, someone you can picture, someone whose problems you actually understand, you have to put a stake in the ground. You have to be something. And that terrifies people. But here's what the numbers show. Channels with a clearly defined audience and consistent content positioning grow at an average of 3 to 4x the rate of channels that post trend-chasing content. Not in views per video, necessarily, in subscriber growth over 12 months, in watch time, in revenue per 1,000 views. In the metrics that actually determine whether this thing becomes a career or just a hobby that costs you money and gives you anxiety. Think about the creators you actually love, not the ones who went viral once and you barely remember their name. I'm talking about the ones you've been watching for years, the ones whose upload notification actually makes you stop what you're doing. What do they have in common? They're consistent. They have a voice. You know what you're getting when you click on their video. You trust them. And that trust, it didn't come from a viral moment. It came from showing up, video after video, week after week, in a way that was recognizably, unmistakably them. You cannot manufacture that. You cannot viral hack your way into trust. Trust is accumulated slowly through repetition, through reliability, through the audience learning over time that you're not going to waste their time. And every time you abandon your content lane to chase a trend, every time you make a video that doesn't sound like you because you thought it had a better shot at blowing up, you're chipping away at the one thing that actually has long-term value, the relationship between you and the people who watch you. Now I want to address something because I know what the counter-argument is. I know someone reading this is thinking about the creators who went viral and then built something real off the back of it. And yes, that happens. Of course it happens. But let's be honest about how rare it is and what it actually required. The creators who converted viral moments into durable careers didn't do it because the algorithm delivered them an audience. They did it because they were already making great content with a clear voice and a defined purpose, and the viral video was an expression of that, not a departure from it. The viral moment found them because they'd been building something real. It didn't create the something real. That's a crucial distinction, and most people skip right past it. Mr. Beast is the example everyone brings up. Mr. Beast went viral. Mr. Beast built an empire. Sure, but Mr. Beast also made over 400 videos before he had any significant traction. He posted for 5 years while working at a local restaurant. He obsessively studied YouTube, not to chase trends, but to understand the platform on a mechanical level. By the time he went viral, he had already developed the production sensibility, the audience instinct, and the operational capacity to handle scale. The viral moment was the accelerant. The foundation was already there. Most people want the accelerant without the foundation, and an accelerant without a foundation doesn't build something. It just burns faster. So what do you actually do differently? Let's get into it. First, stop making content for people who don't know you yet. I know that sounds backward. Isn't the point of content to reach new people? Yes, eventually. But in the early stages, the best thing you can do is make the absolute best possible content for the people who are already watching, because those people are your testing ground. They're the ones who tell you, through their behavior, their watch time, their comments, their shares, their return visits, what you're actually good at. You don't need 100,000 subscribers to figure out what your channel is. You need 500 engaged subscribers who are honest about what keeps them coming back. The creators I know who are genuinely building something treat every video as a conversation with their existing audience, not a pitch to a hypothetical future audience. They ask themselves, does this video reward the people who've been here since the beginning? Does this video give my current viewers a reason to tell someone else about my channel? Because word of mouth from genuine fans is worth more than any algorithm boost from a trend-chasing video that hit on the right day. Second, decide what you're actually about and commit to it uncomfortably. I don't mean pick a niche in the abstract strategic sense. I mean figure out the specific, particular, slightly embarrassingly specific thing you care about more than anyone else you know, and make that the center of everything. Here's what specificity does for an algorithm that most people don't talk about. It makes your content categorically legible. The algorithm doesn't understand nuance. It understands patterns. When you make 20 videos in a row that are clearly about the same specific thing, not just the same broad topic, the same specific thing, the algorithm starts to understand exactly who to show your content to. And the audience it delivers to you is not a random collection of passive scrollers. It's people who are already looking for what you do, That's why hyper-specific creators often have dramatically better conversion rates than generalist creators with 10 times the views. Third, stop measuring success by your best video and start measuring it by your floor. This is the one that really shifts things. Most creators are obsessed with their ceiling, the viral video, the big number, the spike on the graph. But sustainable growth comes from raising your floor. What's the minimum you can count on a video to do? If your floor is 500 views and your floor 6 months ago was 100 views, you're growing. If your ceiling is 50,000 views but your floor is still 200 views, you're volatile. Volatile is not a business. Volatile is a gambling addiction with a camera. The practical implication is that you need to make every video at least as good as your average, not your best. The way to do that is to understand your audience deeply enough to know what they consistently respond to, then deliver that consistently with enough variation to keep it interesting. That's the craft. That's what separates a hobbyist from a professional. Fourth, give yourself a genuine 12-month runway before evaluating whether this is working. I know that sounds like a long time, but consider what you're actually trying to build. You're trying to build a platform that generates real income, real audience trust, and real professional opportunities. That doesn't happen in 90 days. The median time to monetization on YouTube for channels that eventually monetize is between 14 and 18 months. Most people quit at month 3 or month 4, right before compound growth kicks in. They quit because they were optimizing for early results, for virality, instead of the long game. And here's what kills me about this. The energy people spend refreshing their analytics, hoping a video goes viral. The hours spent studying trending audio on a platform they barely understand. The mental bandwidth lost to constantly comparing themselves to creators who blew up 6 months into their journey. All of that energy, redirected toward making the next video better than the last, would put them in a completely different position 12 months from now. The math on this is not complicated. What's complicated is the emotional management required to stay consistent in the absence of external validation. Because that's really what the obsession with virality is about, isn't it? It's not purely strategic. It's emotional. It's the need for external proof that what you're doing matters. It's the anxiety of putting in real effort and not seeing proportional results. It's the very human desire to be recognized quickly, loudly, publicly. And I get that. I feel that. But I need you to understand that letting that anxiety drive your content strategy is one of the most expensive decisions you can make as a creator. It costs you your voice. It costs you your consistency. And ultimately, it costs you the audience you were always capable of building. Here's what I want you to sit with. The creators who are doing this for real, the ones making a living, the ones who've built communities rather than just audiences, the ones who can take a month off and come back to subscribers who noticed they were gone, none of them got there by trying to go viral. They got there by deciding to be undeniably, specifically, consistently themselves. By making content that serves a real person with real needs. By treating every video as a brick in a wall rather than a lottery ticket. You don't need to go viral. You need to go deep. You need to find the 1,000 people who would follow you anywhere and make content so good they can't stop telling others about you. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Everything else is noise. The next 6 months will pass regardless. The question is whether you spend them chasing a moment that may never come or building something that compounds every week. The people who are winning at this chose the second option. They chose it when it was uncomfortable and unsexy and when it felt like nothing was working. They chose it when their friends were talking about some creator who blew up overnight and everyone was asking why that wasn't them. They chose it anyway. That choice is available to you right now. Stop trying to go viral. Start trying to be real.